The content you're about to enjoy comes from the archives of The Best You. We're devoted to the very best in personal development. With a magazine and resources dedicated to inspiring and changing people's lives, at The Best You, we work with the world's leading writers and trainers on the evolution of the self, and people whose journeys have been affected by their work and words. For more information, go to www.thebestyou.co. We're back. It's Bernardo again, and I'm very excited to bring along my next guest, which is Jay Ticker. Hey, Jay, how are you, man?
Hey, how you doing? Pretty good. Not too bad. Considering the circumstances, not too bad.
Absolutely. Well, listen, very quickly. So Jay was one of the speakers at the Best You Expo. He's been a great candidate, great promoter of the event, and we just wanted to make sure that as many of the other speakers, we invite them to come along and share his thoughts. So Jay's a sports commentator and founder of the Ticker Report that provides trending news and media updates throughout the metropolitan area and LA. So obviously, I've got a lot of questions to ask Jay. And I was saying to Jay before that, look, hey, we're lucky, man. We're both here, and we can communicate, and we believe that there's something positive out of everything that's going on in life, including this. So, Jay, share a little bit more about kind of what you do and how you help and support people first, and then we can talk about kind of like what's your take on how we can look at the brighter future.
Sure. Well, first of all, thanks for having me. And I believe this is a fantastic idea. Just to give you a little background about myself, I've been working in media for the past 11 years now. February made 11. And I started off working as a advertising sales representative. So I was working for a magazine that had provided me an opportunity to just do ad sales. And if for those who aren't familiar, that's basically just reaching out to local vendors and asking them if they want an advertising opportunity within the particular platform that we had at the time, which was a magazine. And that lasted for a couple of years, grew into an opportunity of writing articles, enjoyed it. I then moved forward with going back to school to take some journalism classes, got certified. And then I eventually continued to move forward, got promoted to sports editor for this platform, which is called, at the time, True Magazine, which is dedicated to hip hop fans. And I eventually got an opportunity to do the sports editor. And from there, it just turned into just multiple opportunities. 9 months later, after I was promoted to sports editor, the company actually had sold. And so I just started creating my own platform. This was actually in 2013. And ever since then, I ran with it. And the name of the platform is called The Ticker Report, which is dedicated to sports fans, music, and entertainment. And that's where we're at.
So, Jay, what's your take now? Because obviously, you're speaking to clients on a daily basis, and obviously, you're in media. And we've been talking about media and obviously the impact it can have because, there's a lot of news out there. Sometimes there's too much news. And obviously, unfortunately, there's too much negative news too, It's not about not being informed. It's about having the right information and the right amount of information, You don't have to overload. So what's your thoughts as, being in the industry yourself and kind of what's your advice on what the best ideas are around this and what should people do?
So we have this line that we use for the Ticker Report. It's called Aspire to Inspire, which I'm wearing one of my sweaters right now. It's a brand that basically promotes others to be able to think for themselves and to do things that inspire others in a positive light. As you all know, I'm sure most are familiar with the way that the news has been running their platforms within the past 5 years specifically, is to garner that attention that they need. Because right now, I previously also worked as a columnist, as a sports writer for the Southern California News Group, which is this huge conglomerate of newspapers. They own nine different outlets, and they had a huge layoff 2 years ago. And right now, the newspaper industry is almost extinct. You've got your Huffington Posts, your New York Posts, the ones that have been around for such a long time, but for the ones that aren't nationally well known, more of the local side, those have pretty much disappeared. And we always want to set the record straight. We believe that's important because many times you'll get, I'm sure if you all are familiar with just going on your basic Facebook pages or Instagram pages, you'll see a title and you'll see the headline, and that headline will automatically grasp your attention. You'll say, oh, wow, let me go ahead and check this out. So you'll click on the link. It'll forward you right over to that story. And for some reason or another, you're not getting the full details of the story. And sometimes that we as millennials, we call that fake news. When the headline doesn't actually fit the content of the story.
Yep.
And basically, obviously, as we know, promotion is everything. So the headline itself is basically used as a promoting tool to get you to be able to land on their page so that you can read every single thing that's within that particular article. And that particular thing is, that really rubbed me the wrong way. For someone who takes journalism serious, for someone who believes factual information is very important, especially when you're feeding it to a lot of people who are depending on that information to help them. We generally will take that story, if we find one of my interns, and we'll say, you know what, we'll go ahead and take the story, we'll flip it into where other people can understand it. And we like to keep our stories short and straight to the point because some people don't like to sit there and read a whole bunch of what my teacher used to call in college gobbledygook. And so, yeah, that's the importance of it. Being able to think on your own and forcing people, really promoting people to be able to have their own identity outside of the media for us is very important because being misled and not having the right type of information could really damage someone's life. And we can't afford that right now.
Absolutely. And so in what you were, for example, going to be sharing at the Best You Expo, what were you going to be sharing? And if it and has it changed in any way, if any, or has it kind of even reinforced more what you were going to share?
It is said that we live in a world our questions create. And it's true. Those that have succeeded in life, those that stand out, those that have made a difference, those that are inventing, those that are exploring, pushing the boundaries of reality are based on those that have asked themselves empowering questions. In my new book, The Question, Find Your True Purpose, I help you find your true purpose, find your legacy. For more information, go to www.thequestion.co. If you're interested in working with me, contributing, speaking at any of our many events, partnering or licensing The Best You, for more information, go to www.thebestyou.co.
Yeah, actually, I'm actually right on par. What I was going to basically present to the public is the same narrative that I've pushed ever since I began this platform. That is aspire to inspire. Aspire people by doing the things that you would feel you would want your fellow brother or sister, your son, your daughter to be able to remember and to follow and to apply. And it's all based on action. In this world, we see a lot of times where a lot of people, they tend to, especially on social media. And when I'm speaking, I can to some degree speak to a lot of other people who are not social media savvy, which is you see all of these people. And unfortunately, we've seen that with a lot of our politicians is that they're able to promote this message, send out this message, tell people what they're supposed to do, but they don't really want to walk that light. For me in particular, I had a very tough background. I come from being adopted, from being given away at such a young age to being adopted, then me playing in front of my grandmother's or the person's place that I was adopted at, and then my grandmother driving down the street. And I remembered her car. This is at the age of 4. I yell, "Grandma, grandma, grandma," and the car's slowing up. And I see about 3 old ladies in the car. And I'm like, wow, if that's really my grandmother, I'm going to run faster. And so I ran and I ran and I ran until I got so close to the car to where I really realized that that was my grandmother and her 3 sisters. And they were actually out looking for me because they had no idea that I was actually given away. From those moments all the way up until high school, when you're trying to find yourself, and young men who grew up without fathers and mothers, and some who are actually in the system, and letting people know ultimately that you can identify yourself if you put the effort behind it, because nothing's going to happen to you just because you want it to happen. You have to put in the work. You have to put in the time. And this is also aligned with the whole Mamba mentality, which was a moniker that Kobe Bryant used and that he lived by. And so I believe the example of his untimely demise was also an example by the many clips that we were able to see. Me being someone who worked with him, met him multiple times, interviewed him before. It was super impactful to be able to see someone like that, who people weren't able to really get that close, let's just say, the opportunity to be able to work around him and see what type of person he really was, rather than the person that he was displayed throughout the media. It's very, very unfortunate. And hard work will get you there. Working smart will also get you there as well. But to also make sure that you're confident in things that you do, and just to continue to evolve in every single stage of your life is essentially what I feel is the most important thing for us as humans while we're living on this earth, to make the best out of what we can do and what we've been provided, using our skill sets to influence others to be great in what they in the gifts that they were blessed with as well, and that every single person was blessed with one. So, but it's up to you to be able to become great within your own gift.
Love it, Jay. Love it. Absolutely. And, the whole aspire to inspire is a beautiful message. And the idea around that, we all have these gifts, and I'm a great believer of, obviously, I say this jokingly, but, when I came up with the idea of the brand, the best you, well, I thought, I could come up with the average you or the crap you, as they would say in English, and the fact is no one wants to be that. So people aspire to that, the best you can be. And sometimes all it is that they're empty words, as far as people don't necessarily take action, and but I believe the same thing. I think we're all obliged to become the best version of ourselves, and if it isn't, for yourself, because, you've given up on yourself, well, then look at those that are around you, because your kids, if you just stuff yourself with donuts and chips and you don't exercise, well, your kids are learning those things, If you don't go out there and try and lead and inspire other people, your kids are watching that too. So, I believe in the same kind of thing, and I think it's a beautiful and very basic message, but it's also the message I think we've been sharing as well about, people have to step up now. I think now this is a time when people are looking for leaders. This is the time when people are looking for people to share their message. And, for us, as a brand was obviously very challenging, and it is like everyone else. But kind of what I wanted to do was to simply provide, what we do, which is, the conduit to help people share their message. So, yeah, I believe the same thing. So what makes a leader? What do you have to do to go out there and make it happen and stop talking? What do you suggest?
First of all, self-discipline is one of the most difficult things. It's the reason why a lot of people give up, is because they are undisciplined or unwilling to be disciplined to get to the next level. And what I suggest always, if you want to be a great leader, is to be able to discipline yourself, but also be able to be open to constructive criticism, be able to listen to others and take others' advice. And it's up to you to disseminate, which one makes the most sense and which one doesn't, which one applies, which one doesn't. But essentially just being someone who's already self-motivated but always willing to get better. And within that, you want to make sure that you're open to change and willing to evolve, because there's so many people that I see that could be great that I communicate with or work around, and I say, wow, this person's got all the gifts, but it's just something that they're missing within their repertoire that just holds them back. And that's truly what it is. And so for me, learning by example, leading by example, making sure that you're the best that you can be, and treating yourself like a business is one of the most important things. And having that valiant work ethic. Without a work ethic, you really don't have anything to show. Without a work ethic, you really don't have any way to learn as well, because mistakes are vital to your growth. Evolving is one of the best gifts besides time that God has provided us with, whether you're Muslim, whether you're Christian, whether you're Catholic. Evolution is one of the most wonderful things. And without it, we wouldn't even be here, literally, at this very moment in time. And to me, that's why I was interested in joining the Best You as an opportunity as a keynote speaker is something that's awesome. But to be around people who are like-minded, people that you can somewhat build around. And later on, you never know what that relationship can turn into, which is also very important as well, being able to network and to be able to say, you know what, that person really doesn't, even if that person doesn't agree with maybe something that you said or a way that you go about your daily routine in life, it doesn't mean that you can't learn anything from them. And to me, that's what the Best You is all about, being someone that you can always continue to grow and evolve. And so I had to be a part of it. So I talked to a few of your representatives, and now I'm in the building talking to the man himself. How great is that?
Thank you, man. Thank you. No, you great energy. And you can listen, you can feel energy. You can feel energy through social media, and you can feel energy, when you connect with people, because, it comes across a lot of the times. And you came across very genuine, Jay. And I wish I didn't have the chance to speak to you, but I know you got a good, strong message. I wanted you to be sharing that today. And that's it. It is about hard work, and sometimes, life throws things at you, either personally, professionally, health-wise, or like now, one big global pandemic for you, so, but at the end of the day, it's how you deal with it. And you gotta carry on moving forward, and you gotta put the hard work in, because that's what happens. And when you talk about La Mamba, you talk about, Michael Jordan and all these guys, they talk about how many times they failed, how many shots they missed, and how many hours they put in. And it's the same with everything else. There's no one day wonder. There's no one day wonder. Oh, you made it overnight. No, you didn't.
No.
because
I wish it was that easy. Seriously.
To find out about my latest projects, get a free coaching lesson, or download my book, go to www.bernardo-moya.com.
And I'm going to say something. I think for a lot of those people that are out there that are thinking of transitioning and evolving, look, you got to remember that everything that you've done, and everything that has been part of your life is who you are, those scars included and those failures. And I think, at the end of the day, I look at my life. I mean, I started working in nightclubs. I started working in bars and then in nightclubs. I was a DJ and then I was doing parties. So everything that I've done there has literally evolved. So because these parties I used to do, which was a couple of hundred people, have now translated to 11,000 people, and they're during the day with no alcohol. So, but all those skills that I had are part of who I am, and those back sets and those, for the falling down, that's what makes you strong. That's part of your CV. And it's not shiny, and it hasn't been shiny for anyone. And everyone that has seen any success story knows that that's part of the package, isn't it? Yes. Jay, any final words?
Well, I want to encourage everyone before they go and before I go there was something that was sticking out to me when you were completing your diatribe. I said, you know what the Best You really is? It's being you. It's really being you. And I'm sure we've heard this phrase before, being the best version of yourself. Mm. But being you and loving who you are is so important. That literally is half the battle. Mm. The other half is just work ethic. But loving yourself and being the best person that you can be and being you, authentic, and projecting that you, a lot of people can learn from that. And that's what I would like to leave you all with today. If you don't remember anything else that we spoke about, if you don't remember anything else, remember, be the best person that you can be and be the best you.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Not the best copy of someone else. And I love that. I mean, we've been sharing a lot around the idea of authenticity, because I believe, and, I always say this, look, everything you do it from a place of love and honesty, but be authentic. There's a lot of people they're literally very fake, and I said this yesterday. I think, I've encouraged a lot of people to read their own books quite a few times. Because they don't walk their talk, and I think this is a time when people need to be authentic and be loving and caring, but be themselves.
Yeah.
And Jay, can't wait to see you. Give you a hug. So see you soon. Take care. 7th and 8th of August. We're ready for you. Okay.
Let's go ahead and get the promotion going.
Thanks very much. Take care, Jay. Have a great day. And everyone watching, thank you so much. I'm going to be back in I'm going to be back at 1 p.m. Pacific time. So I will be back with you, and I'm going to be here with Hallie Gianni. And then after that, I've got Mas Sajadi. I always get with his Mas Sajadi. Mas, I think it's his birthday today, actually. And Mas is an exponential intelligence. He's energy healing pioneer. Millions, and I'm saying millions of people follow him. So I can't wait to see Mas. Then we've got Eliana Simancas, Christine Blosdale. And I want you to remind you guys, whoever is watching here today, remember the whole ethos around this Best You Expo community. You've seen the hashtag there. It's about the food bank for the soul. So if you're a coach, if you're a trainer, if you're an author, if you publish something, you've got some materials you want to give us, please put them in here. Post a good positive video, recommended reads, or if you have your own book and there's no catch, okay, and you want to give it away or you want to give a coaching lesson, please do that. And then remember, please watch the recordings from yesterday, because there's some really great golden nuggets that we've been sharing for the last couple of days. Watch them. We've had top leaders, thinkers, authors, inspiring people here, sharing some really good ideas that can help you. We've been talking about communication, about breathing, about food. We've been talking about, relationships. We've been talking about being kind, about love, about, kind of obviously having a time schedule. And then remember, for some of you that are joining us now, you can get access to our Expo talks. Okay, we've been recording it for the last 5 years. I've put a playlist together for you, and that's at the Best You Expo community. It's there. You can have access to that, the Best You online. Just follow that link. Yes, you will have to put your card details in. No, we will not charge you, and we're giving you 30 days for free. There's a playlist there that I've put together for you. And at the end of the day, it's just a great opportunity for you guys to take advantage of that content that we have free of charge, and just to keep you going. And then I'm going to be announcing more things that we're going to be doing in the coming weeks. I'm giving as well 100 of my book, the audio version of the book that's coming out. And you've got all the information below. But look, we've also announced the dates for LA, the 7th, 8th in August. We're giving you some free tickets for that if you're going to join us then, and obviously the Expo in Dallas. So I'll be back here at 1 p.m. Please join me to see Hallie, and thank you so much for being here. Take care. Have a great day. For more information, go to www.thebestyou.co.